Hey guys, Truknight here. So welcome back to Season 2 of Truknight's Quest. In Season 2, we're exploring a different route than what we did in Season 1. In Season 1, we came in with 3 structure decks, sort of as like a new player to the game, somebody that was relatively inexperienced, and you just kind of had to start with your structure decks and go. In this version, Season 2, we're coming back as a returning player who has previous experience of the game and is looking to get back in with what either was like known as their pet deck before they left, or in this case, I would say that is a player returning because of new support for a deck that they played before. And what do I mean by that is, well, in Season 2, we're doing Sword Soul. I know I made fun of it with one of my pre-videos, just saying like there's no way you guys will ever catch me doing a Sword Soul season, but the new support looks really interesting, looks fun, looks like it could be a contender in the format. A lot of the top players are saying that based on skill level alone, they think they could jump in and make a dent with this deck post Suda. So I wanted to challenge myself to that. Can I make this deck competable, even at just a local level? I know we got Malice, we have Raziel, we have all that stuff, we have Fiendsmith, all that craziness. Can I get this deck to compete against all that? So this is what I currently have built for what I'm thinking post-Suda for myself. However, we will start this out as a returning player. The rules change. So in Season 1, we built the structure decks and we gave ourselves a $20 budget weekly. In this one, we are building a deck core. I have it right here. I have just the skeleton of the deck, which is pretty much all the Sword Soul stuff, Protoss, the Yang Zing stuff, the extra deck, all that. Okay, and I was able to get all that for what I'll show you as the price in a clip here. Actually, I'll go ahead and show you that clip now. This is how much we picked up the deck core for. Gonna go ahead and go quiet here and play that for you now. Alright guys, so I know I'm going over the deck and everything and what I'm doing. Here is the cost of the actual core. I told you guys I would want to start out with a $100 core. Because it's at 60, I'm not charging myself for tax or shipping because I'm picking this all up locally. The store I go to, Ghost Gaming, has like I think 9 cores, so I was able to just pick up one of them, cheap one. And so that gives me about $40 to play with, which we'll go over in the video with what we're gonna do with it. Probably help us get us some starting out staples, and we'll kind of go from there. So let's get right into it. Alright, going back to the video. Peace! Right, so as you can see, we picked up the deck core for about 60 bucks, right? Not a bad price at all. Had I picked this up like a month ago, I probably would have gotten it for around like 45, 50 bucks. Kinda sucks, is what it is, this is the world we live in. Anyway, so that gives us $40 out the gate to complete this deck. Because of course all the Sword Soul stuff is not going to be enough, even with the Heavenly Circles, with all that kind of stuff, all that jazz, it's just not going to be enough. So we're going to make a builds before Suda. Suda comes out in about a week or two, so I wanted to do an episode or two at least before Supreme Darkness comes out. And then obviously we're going to save up a little bit of our weekly budget each week to pick up the new shit when it comes out. I'm guessing that the new tenny is going to cost about 20 bucks each, and then you got probably like a 10-cent card, another maybe $5 card. So I'm guessing we're going to be needing about 65 bucks, 70 bucks for the new shit. That's just guesstimate in today's Yu-Gi-Oh market. For all I know, nobody cares about it, and these are only like $5 each. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, I'm gonna go quiet from here and show you what we're going to spend on the rest of that 40 to complete our deck here. Alright, so as we were talking about, let's go over some staples we're going to pick up. We'll jump right into the store. Let's see here. So, I think first and foremost, Ash Blossom is definitely needed for any deck right now that wants to compete. Should be able to find a relatively cheap price. Again, we have 40 bucks that we can play with. 40 bucks. So, you would think this would be the cheapest version of the card, right? Guess not. Let's find 3 of them. So that's 16 of our 40 right there. Alright, worth it to me. Worth it to me. Next one we're gonna go into is Effect. Because I don't think we're gonna be able to afford imperms. It'll be something we have to do like weekly. Let's see. And I think for the deck we want to do we need relatively cheap stuff, right? Because we're at 40 bucks, so we're already at 23, so we have $17 left. We're gonna need some pretty extensive non-engine. I kind of want to see. This is a shifter deck, by the way. And it's only 25 cents. Shoot. Shoot. Can't go wrong with that. Okay. Let's see here. Pot of Desires? Where are you at? Oh, super cheap. This is awesome. This is why we love the rarity collections. I want to, but I can't. Let's see here. Shifter, Veiler, Desires. How about evenly? Yes, we can evenly match in the main deck. Oh yeah, we can. For sure. Cool. You gotta think of ways around not having accessibility to imperm and things of that nature. So we have about $11. How about Raigeki? Raigeki's still up there, $1 each. We'll hold off on that. Kaiju's. We're sitting there pretty cheap on those. Think we could do a playset of those? Artifact, Lancia, we're gonna need that. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Conventional barrier. Protos. No, wait. Protos was in the actual build. Okay, so where are we at? We're at 31, so we still got $9. Let's buy some extra staple stuff so that we just have it in our arsenal. Cosmic, Cyclone. We want Harpies. Whoa. We'll hold off on that then. Dark Ruler no more? Is that cheapened up? Nice. Let's see here. Nibiru, yeah. Okay. So we still got $7. You know what? I'm pulling the trigger. We got $7. We're gonna put it in the extra deck now. So, okay, we're coming up 50 cents short, but we're picking up all of this. I'll go ahead and translate it to paper, so that way I have copies of it, and we'll continue on the video from there, and we'll build the deck. So, peace! Alright, so as you can see, that's what we spent our $40 remaining on to complete over our deck. We did go ahead and spend that last $7 on the SP Little Knight. Actually came in 50 cents short, so if I want to be penny for penny kind of guy, I could just say that technically next week we have an additional 50 cents. Probably not gonna do that, but anyway, the rules change here. So weekly, as opposed to $20 a week, we are gonna budget now $40 a week because we want to make this deck a contender. I'm a returning player. I'm not a brand new player. I'm not just trying to get my feet off the ground and get my hands wet and start jumping into the game. No, I want to see my deck compete. I want to see if the new support made anything, because who knows, maybe this deck, because it got hit with the Baron hit and I got so mad I left the game, I didn't come back until I said unless they get support or unless Baron comes back, then boom, I'm never going to come back. But what I can say is that my intentions of this deck is to be able to make a first place locals deck. First place. Not a deck that can compete at locals, not a deck that I feel like could do well while I relearn the game. No, I plan on picking this deck up, and within a month's time, I want to be competing for first place. And that's not just like your typical Wednesday night locals, Thursday night locals. No, like Saturday night locals when all the big dogs are there. Because let's all be real, Saturday night is when all the big dogs in your local scene show up. That's the night everybody shows up. We're all grown adults now, and that's the time we have to play. Well, not myself in my current work predicament, but given a promotion coming down the line, I'll be able to have Saturday nights off, and I'll be able to go compete with the big dogs. I've been consistently competing on Monday nights, probably like once or twice a month, and I finished between, I've finished first twice, second 3 times, and then a third place in the past year. And that's just my most recent views, and that's only being able to play once a month. So hopefully I'm trying to make that more this year. I'm trying to be able to play like once or twice a month, but another kid on the way, job promotion, I'm just going to compete when I can. Anyway, all that being said, in this scenario, I'm a returning player coming to join up coming to fuck shit up with Sword Soul and the new Tenny support. Let people who laugh about it when they release this new Tenny support and make them eat those words. So that's the goal of this. So we're gonna build a super. Alright guys, welcome back. So after I got the core and I got all the extra stuff and everything, I put together a deck, or first iteration of the deck. All together, the budget came out to just under 100. It was $99.47. So met our goal. Huge way to meet it, but we're gonna do another season like this in the future with a different deck that I've built up to and I'm excited about. But I'm super excited to do this with Sword Soul. So I've been stepped away from Sword Soul for a minute here, so really excited to get back into it and kind of see what it can offer in 2025. So without further ado, let's jump into the first iteration of the deck. If I'm a returning player, I'm not going to buy the Charmies, all that stuff yet. I'm not buying the Dominus cards or anything like that. I don't even think they'll play it in this deck, but not buying all that stuff. I'm just getting back into the game, getting my feet wet, seeing if I enjoy it again, and then in the next couple of weeks, Supreme Darkness comes out, we'll get the new support, we'll kind of go from there. Look for this season to be about 2 months, probably 2 months, 1 episode a week. Excited to see what we finish as our final version of the deck. So let's get into it. First and foremost is the main deck. So starting now, I am running 3 Ecclesia. Of course, it's your main starter if you have it, going second. As long as your opponent controls more monsters than you, you can drop this down, inherent summon, and I think it'll mix well with the new Tiny getting ready to come out. Now for the Sword Soul, we're playing 3 Moye, of course, bread and butter of the deck. 3 Longyuan, of course. These guys, these ratios never change. 2 Taya, you don't need more. It's my favorite Sword Soul, but you don't need more. And then, of course, 1 Protoss, because they took my Baron away, so this is what we had in its place. Always be looking to call light, especially at locals, because a lot of people will drop Tweensmith on you, so you can say light and get to it, and it passes through. You're golden. Spells and traps for the Sword Soul stuff is 3 Emergence and the 1 Blackout. That never changes. Now for the Tinny engine, I'm running 3 Ashuna. It's very strong. I think even post Suda, I'll be running 3 of this still. Double Vishuda. I mean, these guys are all serving as hand traps too, so you gotta remember that. And then 2 Adhara. I think this is where it'll change. I might go down to like 1 and 1 post Suda, but we'll see what we get to. And then to round it out, playing the Shatana and the 2 Heavenly Circle. I think the ratios will be the 1 Field Cell, the 1 Cycle, and the 1 Circle. I don't think that this will be in the deck anymore, but you need to be able to dodge hand traps like Ash, like Valor, like Imperm. So, alright, non-engine, man. Alright, so we got some non-engine here. Let's jump right into it. 3 Ash, of course, it's Ash Blossom. It's going to be played in every deck. I call this a shifter deck, so why not play shifter if I can play it? This will eventually be Nibiru, probably next episode. So, and then 3 Effect Valor. Again, looking to probably put in other stuff like Ghost Spell and Nibiru, but these serve just fine for starting out. 2 Desires, you can't go wrong with it. You play a lot of 3 ofs. It's an honorary Sword Soul card. Even in today's meta, you want to play it. And it goes well with Chinging. And then instead of the Imperms, I do have 3 Evenly Matched, because we'll probably get Imperm in the next like 2 weeks or so. But this is just as good for going second to board wipe your opponent, because you're targeting them, not their creatures. So 40 card and main deck, very simplistic, very basic. Again, we will be including things like Imperms, Nibiru, probably going to be looking at talents, probably going to be looking at all the new junk that comes out for it. It's only going to be like 6 cards, but we'll try and play it all. But yeah, pretty simplistic, normal main deck for returner deck. So can't go wrong with it. This is kind of going to be your hand you're going to see. 1 interrupt, going second. You got a whole bunch of extenders and just keep on going. So yeah, that does it for the main deck. Alright, now into the extra deck. So the extra deck is very plain Jane, I'm not going to lie, but it's what you expect from Sword Soul starting back after a while. So jumping right into it, we are playing 2 Monk of the Tenny. This will probably stay at 2 even post Suda, so just glad you have him now. The 1 Shaman, again, this will probably stay as well. We'll add in the other Tenny probably in the next episode or 2, just because we're going to be playing that in the next one. Next up is we do have the SP and the Star Slayer, fairly cheap. These are the biggest things of our extra deck, but they're very good utility and they help us as good old shit buttons. And then I am playing Dragite and Berserker. Still playing these. This is probably one of these will be replaced post Suda for the new Tenny monster. I just haven't decided which one yet. Now for the Yang Zing stuff, playing the 1 Yazi, non-targeting removal, Boxia, non-targeting shuffle, and last but not least, Chaofeng, because Nibiru hurts. We really want to be able to stop Nibiru or make our opponent Nibiru us at the moment that they don't want to Nibiru us, but what we want them to do. So that's the explanation for that. And then to round it all out, of course, your 2 Chichao, your 1 Chengying, and your 1 Sinister. So very simplistic extra deck. Last but not least is our side deck. Our side deck is going to be very minimalistic, very simplistic at this point, how the whole build is. But again, guys, I just have to keep reiterating this. You are a returning player. You need to get your feet wet. You need to start getting into the mix of things again. You may not want to start out with like Ultimate Slayer and all that stuff unless you've been playing the game and you keep up with it. You may just want to go back to stuff that you're familiar with. So here's recommendations. I'm playing 3 Kaiju for the problem monsters like Detonator, Terahertz, things like that nature. What do you call it? Chaos Angel. This is a great way to just get rid of those. For the matchup against Malice, we can easily take out Shifter and put in Lancias. It's a great response to opponent who is trying to banish a lot, especially with Ritual Beasts. Speaking of which, going first card, we have Dimensional Barrier. Eventually you want to get Solemns in here, but I think that this is good just for the start out. Putting in 3 Cosmic Cyclone for back row remover. Didn't really want to put Harpies just because Anti-Spell could be a thing that's returning back to the meta. I'm not too sure post Suda, but I think that Cosmic goes just as well. So, and last but not least, I decided to run Dark Ruler because it is budget friendly and because we can't really afford the Raigekis and the Lightning Storms right now. So this is a great way to just turn off your opponent's monsters to be able to combo through with your lines. So very simplistic deck. I'm going to go quiet from now. You're going to watch me play a couple of matches on Omega, and then I'll see you guys in episode 2 when we make some upgrades. Going quiet with music now. Peace. Just gonna say, guys, it's nice to come back with a deck that I'm familiar with. It just shows to show that it doesn't matter how powerful decks come in, if you're confident in your skill with a deck, and you know what you're doing, and you know what your cards do, you get the advantage. Doesn't matter how strong decks are, Pilot will always dictate terms. I just took a deck incredibly weaker than Malice, and I don't know, took it to him. So, gonna be exciting series. Peace!
Yes, let's go. Come on. Level head, heavy metal, lead foot up on the pedal.